Indonesia's cigarette industry is massive. It's a major source of revenue for the government. But there's a problem. Virtual entities. These shadowy groups are wreaking havoc on the market. They operate in the space between big distributors and small-time sellers like street vendors, and they're costing the government a lot of money in lost taxes. Think of it like this. You go to a street vendor to buy a pack of cigarettes. You hand over your cash, get your cigarettes, and that's it. No receipt, no invoice, nothing. This transaction, facilitated by a virtual entity, just disappears into thin air. The government has no way to track it, and that means no taxes are collected. These virtual entities are like ghosts in the system. They exist, but they don't exist. They make money, but they don't pay taxes, and they're a real problem for the Indonesian government. To understand this issue, we need to talk about two German words, das sollen and das sein. Das sollen is the law, the rules, the way things are supposed to be. Das sein is reality, the way things actually are. And in the Indonesian cigarette market, there's a big gap between the two. The Indonesian government has laws against tax evasion. There are rules in place to make sure everyone pays their fair share. That's das sollen, but in reality, virtual entities are finding ways to bypass these laws. They're operating in the shadows, exploiting loopholes and avoiding taxes. That's das sein. This gap between das sollen and das sein is a serious problem. It undermines the rule of law and creates an uneven playing field for businesses. So how do these virtual entities actually evade taxes? It's all about cash. Indonesia's cigarette market is awash in it. Transactions are often done in cash, which makes it very difficult to track where the money is going. Virtual entities take advantage of this by acting as middlemen. They buy cigarettes from big distributors and then sell them to smaller vendors, all in cash. No paper trail, no accountability. The money just disappears into the system. They also use a sneaky trick called the back-to-back loan scheme. Basically, they disguise their taxable income as loan repayments. It's like saying, oh, this money I have, it's not profit, it's just a loan I'm paying back. It's a way to make dirty money look clean. These practices are illegal, but they're hard to stop. Virtual entities are like phantoms operating in the shadows and leaving no trace. The Indonesian government needs to take action against these virtual entities. They need to close the loopholes in the law that allow them to operate. And they need to crack down on cash transactions in the cigarette market. One solution is to require more transparency in the supply chain. The government could track cigarettes from the factory to the point of sale, making it much harder for virtual entities to operate in the shadows. Another solution is to encourage electronic payments. This would create a digital trail that would be much easier to follow. The government also needs to provide more resources to its tax enforcement agencies. They need the manpower and technology to investigate and prosecute these virtual entities. The Indonesian cigarette market is a mess. It's time to clean it up.